driver's side, we actually have, you guys and gals, a little bit of a rust hole in the floor right at the bottom of I guess where your footwell is, right at that crease where the footwell where it comes down and then goes flat. So that's a little interesting. Yeah, this is just a body fastener, old-fashioned kind. Oh, duh. Yeah. Now that's a body clip. And then I should be able to wrangle this guy down. It'll slide down like that. Over there. And then... all right, getting back in here, it doesn't look bad from this side. We've got a, this is not metal. There's some sort of a liner here. I didn't know they had this either. It's some sort of a liner is all I can say. Where'd this guy going? Okay, but let's pull this bulkhead pad back and see. We might have to go at this repair from the bottom, you guys. It might only be in the bottom layer. Hang on, we're gonna get two hands on this. Well, one point or another, somebody had some boom booms in here. We've got the big old Munster. Is it a Munster? It's a USA cable. It might be even a Munster cable. Power wire going to the back. And then we've got another, probably auxiliary. There's a ground and a, could be even a speaker wire. Yeah, that's just big speaker wire. So somewhere along the line, somebody had some boom booms. But here's what I'm talking about. There's a coating on this metal floor. The magnet light sticks to it, and you can push down in here and feel that it's soft, but I don't really want to cut up into this. Oh, here, it's a matte. Look, it's an actual like matte layer that like sound deadener, like what's Dynamat or something like that. So I don't really want to cut through this from the top if I can keep from doing that. What we might do is cut that piece out on the bottom and see if we can't do a clean repair down there and keep from scarring it up on the top side here. Now if we cut through, and we might be able to save the originality here and patch from the bottom. Let's try it. Let's get our little pieces cut out, and then we'll see what it looks like from down there. If it's doable, we'll do it. If it's not the right thing to do, we won't. Well, the Ford assembly workers have gotten us again. We saw this. Go back. I'll put it up here on the Bronco. We found a couple spots where there were gaps, and they just smeared seam sealer there, and it caused us a problem later on down the road. Nothing, I mean, not huge, but why? So anyway, we're down here making a plan. Excuse me, it's dusty. On this little patch, this rectangle right here is where we're gonna go, but we want to get the inner fender out. So we're gonna pull this back so we can get in here, and look right here. There's clearly a gap between the floor pan and the rocker edge, and you can see where they reached up where they could with their finger and a big stuck seam sealer back in here, and then schmooed it out and left everything else back up in here. Now, is it super rusty? A little bit. But what our plan is right now is we're going to create this rectangle. We'll go right along this good piece of metal here. We'll go right along this good piece of metal here and straight down, and then we'll come to about here and cut here straight, and then we're going to put a break on our patch and put it right up against here. We're going to take this bolt out one way or another, and when we go back together we'll take this Gooba seam sealer out, but this will actually have a break now, and we'll seam sealer whatever little corner we have here that we can't weld, but should be better than factory. And then over here, this should be pretty easy. We just gotta cut out a little bit here. We're gonna come up, over, and down and peel this, and peel this one layer out, just so it doesn't continue to rust between the layers. So we got to get some PB soaking on this guy, see if we can't get that bolt out, and then we'll take the keeper out, because if we do go back with our patch and we put a break in it, we'll just drill a hole here and we'll just put a nut and bolt into this rocker lip. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Alright, quick little update. We did get our rocker bolt and our retainer out, and up in here, let me get the light where you can use it. We're still metal. Whoops, sorry. We're still metal up in here. Gosh darn it, Jarrett. There. We are still metal all the way through here, and then we lose it over here. This is that Dynamat or whatever Ford put in. So we're good here. We are going to go ahead and come over here, and we'll cut to here, and then we might try to plug weld here, and this will be gone, and plug weld here, just so we can retain that original floor piece where it's good, and then it gets really soft right here. It's just this corner, but we don't want to hurt this corner if we don't have to. I mean, there's a gap up here, but that's just the two panels where they come together, and we'll clean all that out and put a better schmoo seam sealer in there. Plus it's going to have a break and a metal piece right here, blocking any gunk from getting up in there. We'll do just a little bit of cleanup so we know where the good metal is, and then we'll bring it back. Next day alert. We got her cut out. Edge is kind of ground down, kind of close to, prepared to weld in. Here is our, again, we just made a cardboard template for a patch panel piece. It ain't perfect, but you can see it's a big long rectangle, and then we're going to put this brake in and tie it into this bottom bolt for the fender where it goes through that rocker tab. So I think we're close enough on the cardboard now. We'll get this cut out of metal, set up in here, tacked in, and it'll need a little bit of a break right here because the floor starts to bend up, but then it flattens out, so it'll be kind of a corner break diagonal across here. And then, we'll just see how the rest of it pans out, but it looks like it's going to be a pretty good patch. Well, here it is. I know it doesn't look like much right now, but we've got our brake. We've got this little brake here. Remember that floor curls up a little bit? Let's go lay it in there. I'm pretty pleased with the fit. But you tell me here. Try to hold, there, hold on. It's gonna go just, well, it's kind of hard to do one-handed, just like so. So this will be just a little bit overlapped in the back, and we'll seam that. And then there's our edge in the front and the curl for the floor. And then over here, we'll tag. This will go forward just a little bit. Now, you see this by my thumb, this little gaping part, that's that hole between the factory panels or gap. It's not a hole, it's a gap. and then that's where that seam sealer ended. So unfortunately we can't get up in there and weld something there. It's not rusty, it's good metal. It's just a bad place where, you know, pieces came together. So we'll dig this chunk of seam sealer out, and when we go in and seam seal over all of our welds to finish this up, we'll cover that really well too. And then we'll cut a little bit of a hole into here to get this tagged in with the fender and the rocker lip. Sound good? The lengths we sometimes go to make things right. Got our patch panel, we're starting to tack it, looking good, but we had a gap right here, and we knew we would. We thought we could get it closed up just pushing the floor down, but turns out we've got bottle jack against steering column brace against 2x4, pushing down on the floor. That didn't quite get there, so we got our little cheapo Harbor Freight racing jack and an old 1/2-inch extension that has long been turned into a punch, and we're lifting up down here. So now we have a nice closed gap at the end of that panel, just like it was before. We'll tack that in, and then it's just a matter of sewing up the stitches. More updates. First patch looking really good. Now along here you'll see some inconsistencies with the grinding, and that's because it's not a butt weld here where it's a lap, it's an overlap, and rather than just leave the seam there like Ford did, we decided to go ahead and weld that. It'll get a bead of seam sealer with the paintbrush like you've seen in the other videos, and we'll show you after that. But it's welded up good. We've got just a couple little pinholes here. We're gonna zap this one more time along this leading edge, but that turned out really nice. We went ahead and elongated our little notch here so we can put the fender back in and on and line all that up. So life's happy pretty there. So life's happy pretty? So life's pretty happy there. And then we got our second little patch made. It's looking really nice, and we're ready to tack it in. We're gonna tack here and here and maybe about halfway through here, and then we do have to do a little bit of manipulation pushing this up and in to place. But that's looking really nice. All right, we're gonna keep working. I'll let you know. Okay, more updates. Patches are in, welded, ground, and then I just went over with the seam sealer. That's that small patch on the inside of the footwell. And here's our rectangular patch from the frame support to the rocker. And we did take our seam sealer and fill that cavity up there between those Ford body panels. So we're gonna let that dry for about 30 to 45 minutes. We'll give this a spritz of the black undercoating, just like what's already on here. And that part of this job is done. While we're waiting for that to dry, we're gonna go ahead and drop the transmission pan and change that filter out and the fluid out in there. Well, all right. I'll let you watch. I've got we're down to the last two bolts in the pan in the back, and what I like to do is leave two in the front corners loose down about 1/4 inch, and then take everything else out and leave two in the back tight, and then eventually you'll crack here and it'll start to you know, come out, the fluid well, it'll start to drain out all over the place. And then you can slowly walk those front two down, and it'll kind of tilt down and spill, hopefully in a somewhat controlled manner. Well, yeah, this one isn't very controlled. Well, I mean, Yeah. I think it's going to get messy. But, I mean, really, who doesn't like watching somebody else, as long as it's not you, right? Take a transmission fluid bath. So we're going to go here. That'll get us a little bit more. I suppose I better take my light off of that. Put that there maybe. So we've got panage, and panage won't drain. I think we'll take this guy out, and it'll spill kind of towards you. It should. Here, maybe we can, if we take some pressure off, we should be able to just kind of turn it out. There we go. All right, now what's this gonna do? Oh, it's gonna get us some. Okay. Not very much. Oh, that means we're gonna have to lower this down in a pretty full state. You guys might be in for a show. Okay. Would you like me to wait 5 minutes? You can go make some popcorn? Because, I mean, yeah. So now what we got to do is go back up a little bit, take this last guy out. Oh, this is gonna be bad, you guys. And now we gotta shift our, oh boy, and then do that. Oh, whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, okay, still okay. Very, very okay. Everything's gonna be okay. I think, under the circumstances, that went really well. We do have some gray stuff in the bottom of the pan. But yeah. I mean, when I won that one. All right, we got some droplets and splatters and stuff going on, but whoo-wee, not so horrible. Let me go reposition there. Yeah. Now we need looks like an 8mm to take down the filter, and then we should get some more fluid. Stand by. The old irrigation 460 across the road is getting after it this evening. It's about a day and a half for it to go from one end to the other of its rotation. Alright, we're going to take this guy first because I got to reach, whoa, through the sprinkles to get to him. Okay. And then these you try not to put into the oil. So there's a bolt there, there's one there. Looks like just 3 maybe. There we go. I'll have to go down my list, but I believe that once we get this transmission serviced and the interior put back together from the floor repair, I think we're done with the Fox body, at least for now. Here he comes. Here comes some more fluid. Ah, there comes some more fluid. That's kind of surprising. There should be a little square gasket at the front there. That's probably what that was waiting on there. And then you gotta just get a little oily if you don't have the patience. Get this last bolt out. There we go. Dip that way. Yay. Yeah, right there's where that little square gasket goes. We're going to try to stand that up in the pan in case we get froggy about taking a closer look at the actual filter element in there. Yeah, fluid's pretty brown. I'll show you the pan. It's got some clutch material in it, but you know, car drove good. We're not gonna get too bent out of shape about a little bit of debris in the pan at this point. All right, let me get out of here and let's get this pan up on the bench and see just how much gray matter we got in the bottom of it here. So here we go, guys and gals. You know, when I initially checked this fluid, I was getting just a little bit of gray on the dipstick, and I thought that's not a good sign. But I mean, look, you can see through to the metal. There's a little bit, but this is a healthy transmission. I'm telling you right now. We're showing 50,044. It might be pretty accurate. It might only have 50,000 miles on this car. 150 on that it's in remarkable condition if it's got 150,000 miles. So it might be a 50,000 mile car, you guys. But yeah, this is good news. This is a good sign. Everything's good here. I mean, we got a little bit. We've got some gray floating around, but that's nothing. That's fine. Let's clean this all up. We'll throw the filter in, throw the pan back on, get some fluid in this thing, and knock this off our list. Well, that's even better. We got our gasket kind of just chilling here, getting flat because it comes all wadded up in a ball in there. The filter's over here, and then here's our little square gasket, and this is kind of cool. They put just enough of a lip around this opening that you can take that cork gasket and just kind of stretch it around, and then it won't come off while you're lifting that up in there. One thing on these, and there was a big warning in the constructions that I took a second and looked at them for once. It says to torque these bolts, I think it was 80 to 100 inch-pounds. We're going to go right there in the middle at 90. But apparently this rearward bolt connects and grips really close to what would be like the overdrive circuit, and if you get it too tight, it can affect apparently the movement of that. and you could get a no 3-4 shift condition, which we don't want. So we're going to go ahead and torque these to 90 inch-pounds. All right, we did scrape a little bit on the gasket surfaces of the transmission. Our pan is all shiny clean now and ready to go up in here. Our gasket's pretty much flat. We're going from cork to rubber now, so that'll be all right. Now we can just kind of relax. And after that, the very first thing you do, get this guy out of here. Otherwise, I guarantee you, you're gonna drop some of your other bolts into your pan. Ask me. I've learned that lesson over and over. Give everything a quick little rub down here. We're gonna hit our patch panels now with our undercoating, and we're put some fluid in this trans, and yeah, we're about done with this Mustang. Okie dokie, final update for the floor patches. There's the one, the smaller one, and there's the bigger one. That undercoating, it was the Bondo brand rubberized undercoating. We just gave it as light, I mean, it came out like crazy, but we gave it as light of a coating as we could. We're not here to hide things, we're just here to make it look nice. Yeah, cleaned up really well. No more rust holes. And this part of the body of the car is gonna last, you know, a long time. Okay, we gotta put the interior back together, put some transmission fluid in this thing. I think I'll see you in the morning, and we'll do one last little test drive, and we'll be done with the Mustang. Hopefully it'll come back and we'll get to do some more fun stuff with it.